guys, it's Sammy and welcome back to my channel where we talk everything about Taekwondo. Today we're going to be going over 3 tips to prepare for your first Taekwondo tournament. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these sit-down videos because right now I am about 35 weeks pregnant. I have 1 more month before my little ninja guy comes out. So not going to be doing as many workout videos, but hopefully a lot of like motivational and a lot of like mindset stuff, talking through like how-to things, and hopefully it's all still really valuable to you. If you have an idea of a question or something that you want to learn about, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Now let's go ahead and talk about the 3 tips to preparing for your first Taekwondo tournament. Number 1 is going to be knowing the rules and the schedule. And I don't just mean like the how to score rules, but I mean truly knowing all about the rules, whether that's going to be like weigh-ins. If you're sparring, you're more likely going to have to do a weigh-in depending on what level of tournament you're at. Is it going to be the same day? Is it going to be the day before? Are you allowed to weigh in like with just like shorts and a t-shirt? Another thing's going to be like checking in the day of. So do you have to check in as soon as you get to the tournament, or what do you do once you get to the tournament? Usually what we tell our athletes is as soon as you get to the tournament, make sure that you have your like credential if that's what they have for that tournament, and then go find your assistant coach, because they're going to be the ones who are kind of keeping an eye on all the students and knowing where they have to go. Another thing is going to be knowing when you should warm up. Are you in charge of making sure that you warm up yourself? Do you need to find a buddy or a partner to help you warm up? Is your coach going to help you warm up? When should you even warm up? So like I said, make sure you work through all of these details with your coach beforehand, so that way you don't have any weird surprises on the day of. Another big one as far as preparing and knowing the rules is also know the rules of the gear. Make sure that you're wearing the right uniform. I know for our students, we always have to remind them like, hey, when you're competing, you're going to have to wear the full white uniform. Or if they're doing demo, then they have a special uniform, so they're going to have to bring both. For sparring, you have to make sure that you have the right color of mouth protector. So just make sure that you go over all these things. There's going to be like little things that you don't think about. So just make sure that you have all of the right gear and you know what gear you're going to need for those rules. Tip number 2, make sure you prepare both mentally and physically. So first part is going to be obviously have a training plan. You want to make sure that you're not just crashing and doing all the training right on the week before the tournament, but rather you want to start months ahead of time and, you know, like figure out how you're going to ramp up your training and what you're going to be doing. Are you going to do extra training or specific training towards that tournament? So just make sure that you have a training plan. But also, you're going to want to make sure that you think about what you're doing the week before or the week of the tournament. Even like the days before, the day before, the morning of, you want to make sure that you know everything as far as like what your training's going to look like, what your sleep schedule's going to look like, because you don't want to go into a tournament being like so nervous that you don't even get anything more than like 2 hours of sleep. Or maybe like if you're trying to cut weight, which I really don't recommend, maybe you end up like running, I don't know, 5 miles trying to lose some water weight. Like I said, I don't recommend that, but just know about what your plan is going to have to look like for before a tournament. The whole week of, are you going to slow down your trainings? Are you going to just focus more on light kickouts rather than heavy sparring? Think about what that's going to look like and come up with a plan for it. Also, make sure that you don't just focus on the physical training, but really focus on the mental training. I feel like this gave me a huge heads up in competition because I spent so much time working on my confidence and working on what I was going to have to make sure that I did the day of to make sure I felt confident walking into the ring. Little things like, do you need music that's going to help you stay calm like until you're right about to go in the fight, and then you maybe need a different playlist that's going to pump you up. That's something that I really needed because I didn't want to like go in like full adrenaline since the morning when I wasn't going to fight until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I usually did like a chill playlist that kind of helped me get focused, but also kept my nerves calm. And then once I'd get called up or once I was warming up, I'd put something else on to just kind of mentally change my mood and get me prepped for what was about to happen. Visualization also really helps. So before the tournament, not even just a day of, like weeks before, try and think about like, you know, close your eyes and visualize what you're gonna do, whether you're competing in Poomsae, maybe run through that Poomsae form. Think about, you know, like you're gonna bow to your coach, you're gonna walk on up, and and then you're gonna go out there and practice doing that form in your head, like full out exactly how you want to perform it. Because the more that your brain starts getting the hang of it, the more confident you're gonna feel, because it's gonna feel like something that you're used to rather than having all of the nerves on that day. Tip number 3 for preparing for your first tournament is stay hydrated and fueled. And I mean eating intentionally. You don't want to have like a really heavy meal or something with unfamiliar foods that might upset your stomach like the morning of or the day before. I know a lot of people like to have like these really heavy meals after they go weigh in, but honestly, that's not something that I did because it would make me feel sick and slow the next day. So I have to find like, I want a good source of protein the night before. I want some veggies, I want some carbs, but don't overdo it either. And then for the morning of, something that I really enjoyed was having like some oatmeal, some fruit, water, just make sure that you're eating intentionally and think about what you're gonna eat, so that way you don't have like a huge crash because your belly feels sick after you've been, like weight cutting or something. You wanna make sure that you eat nutritiously. Also make sure you bring snacks and water for tournament day. Even though like your nerves might be there and you don't feel hungry, your body still needs fuel. So really make sure that you're eating intentionally throughout the day. Don't forget to drink your water, because in order to have, like for your body to perform as well as it can, you're really gonna need that fuel and that hydration so that your physical needs are met for your body to excel. With all that said, it is your first tournament, so just make sure that you have realistic expectations of enjoying the tournament. Because yes, like it's wonderful to win, but honestly, the best part is just gonna be learning from the experience of your first tournament, because you're not just gonna go to one tournament, win, and then you're done. Hopefully it's gonna lead you to want to do other competitions. So yes, you want a good first experience, but also you are there to learn and just do your best. Not necessarily, like be the absolute best, but do your best. So make sure that you use these tips to kind of prepare, but also keep in mind to just enjoy and have fun. Otherwise, what's the point of you being competing? You gotta be able to enjoy it. If you have some other tips that you think are helpful, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys think, and good luck on your first tournament. Let me know what tournament's coming up for you, and after the tournament, come back to the video and let me know how you did as well. I hope this video was helpful to you, and I will see you guys all next Wednesday for the next video. Bye guys.